On this trip to Malaysia, we're flying with a discount airline, so weight is a real issue for me. We're allowed 20 kilo of checked-in luggage and very, very strictly 7 kilo of cabin luggage. So, I've got a quandary. Sitting around the airport, waiting all the time. Of course I'm bringing a laptop, but I don't want to open the laptop, get it out just to surf the net and check email. And the other issue I've got is I have to bring a phone because we're going in a group of 8 to Malaysia and we all need to have a mobile phone to keep in touch with each other. So what do I do? Well, option 1 is this. An iPad and an iPhone. The phone to make calls, the iPad to use Wi-Fi to check emails and surf the net while I'm waiting at the airport. That's option 1. And that weighs in at almost 800 grams. Option 2 is this. Courtesy of my friends at Samsung to trial is a Samsung Note. The screen, well, you know, it's a compromise between the two. It's not as big as the iPad, of course, but it's much, much bigger than an iPhone. And it weighs in at around 173 grams, or roughly a quarter of the combined weight of the iPad and iPhone. Well, how do the screens stack up? First thing I've got to say is, in my opinion anyway, the iPhone 4 has a much brighter screen. And bearing in mind this is an iPhone 4, the iPhone 4S would be even brighter still. Having said that though, I find websites are much, much easier to read on a Galaxy Note, because the screen's simply much bigger. We're talking about 5.3 inch screen versus a 3.5 inch screen. Probably my biggest concern is how this big 5.3 screen Samsung Note would be. Will it be a handicap when you're traveling overseas to carry this around with you? Bearing in mind I'm using it as a phone as well. What I found, surprisingly, is it was actually really quite easy to carry. Slips into my jeans pocket really quite easily. So in the end, the choice came to this. Around 800 grams or much less, 173 grams. Well, I actually found it was actually much, much easier to carry this thing around, fit straight into my pocket, and actually only need to bring one charger for this. And I think overall, for business trips, if you wanted to check your emails and surf the net when you're sitting around the airport lounge, I think a Samsung Note is a much, much better alternative.